It's finally happening, guys. It has been so scary living without you. Oh, yes. Never leave me again. G'day, folks. It's Cortezerino. Welcome to the first episode on my single-player world. And also welcome to the ugliest starter base you have ever seen. I thought this would be better actually. I wanted to try something that my buddy BC always does. He always starts his Minecraft worlds in exactly the same way. He digs down really deep and he has like a sort of mine shafty thing here. He has this central room with chests in the corners and then mine shafts leading off all over the place. You can see I've actually spent more time building this room than I have mining. I don't really like mining. Yeah, it's not for me actually. Like, and his ones look beautiful. Mine's pretty ugly. But yeah, because I don't like mining that much, there's not really much point in me being all the way down here. I much prefer being up near the surface. Now, one thing when you start a single player, or when you start any Minecraft world, at least for me, because I've been playing on servers, you always spend so much time looking around seeds, trying to find the perfect world, and I really was not looking forward to that. But I thought, oh well, I'll open a Minecraft world at random and have a quick look, and it was actually pretty perfect. The first go I found, I think, what is the ideal world for me. I wanted to stay around spawn just in case I died. I want to be tripping a long way to get back home. So I opened a world in creative, and we might go into the creative one that I've got, and I'll just show you what I saw. So this is spawn, guys. It doesn't look very exciting, but if you've watched me for a while, you know that I love to do builds in the countryside. So I might do my house, but I don't leave it at that. I then do everything around the house, and then I might do fields and farmland. And I just wanted to find an area with lots of plains biomes, with mountains on each side, so we could just have a nice valley. And I've got some ideas for the sort of themes I want to do in that valley. But yes, I just opened this world and I thought, oh well, there's ocean there, probably not much in that direction. What is down here? And I was quite excited by what I found. We've got this beautiful little valley here. We've got small hills on that side. The hills on that side are a little bit bigger. But this valley just keeps going, and it's a mixture of plains, birch, and dark oak forest. And the further I went, I just realised I have so much room to build here. It is absolutely beautiful. And it just keeps going like this. And then eventually we get to more water. And I just thought this would be a lovely valley just to fill up completely. Yeah, yes, we're at the water already. But I thought, yep, this is it, guys. This is where we're going to live. So I quickly opened a map with the seed just to make sure there was a mesa nearby and an ice biome, and there was, and that is absolutely all I've done. I'm not being cheaty at all. I got no idea where any spawners or anything are. I haven't found any yet. We are slumming it. We are doing this the old-fashioned way. And the first thing I did when I got here, because I didn't really know what I was doing, is I just sat at spawn and just cut down. I spent a few days just cutting down trees, having no idea what my plans were or where I was going with this world. And that was actually a really smart thing to do, because you always need lots and lots of wood early game, and I had tons of it. So I think I'm going to start all my worlds that way now. Just cut down tons and tons of trees. But we probably need to address the elephant in the room, guys. I have been playing on a multiplayer server for the last, 3 or 4 years? And now I'm starting a single player world. So the question is, Cortez, are you still playing on the server? No, I am not. And to explain it, we probably have to go back to when I first joined the server, which was, 3 or 4 years ago. I joined halfway through Season 1, and the first 2 seasons were pretty good. It was... one of my kids was about 6 or 7 at that stage, my daughter. She'd get on her tablet and watch a bit of YouTube. Why is that relevant? Well, my internet connection is very slow, so I was only sharing that connection with my little girl watching a bit of YouTube. Not a big deal. Fast forward to Season 3, and by that stage, the owner of the server had changed hands a few times, and the server was getting hosted in a different location, and it was a lot slower for us with bad connections. Like, one guy left very early in the season, he just found it unplayable, and another guy battled through until right near the end, and in the end he just said, "Look guys, I'm going to call it here. Not going to join you for Season 4. I have to play single player now." But I was struggling through it. The problem was, just before the start of Season 3, I bought a new computer. So I gave my old one to my daughter, and then she was on it constantly. So I was sharing the internet with her as well. And my 2 boys, who were really young in Seasons 1 and 2, were old enough to figure out how to connect the Xbox to YouTube, and they were going nuts on that. And my wife was getting into Netflix as well, so there was a server that was very hard to connect to, and better have some eat. And my family, with 5 of us sharing a 3.5 megabit per second internet connection, which you would know is very, very slow. So toward the end of Season 3, it was becoming very unplayable for me. And see, I have recording times when I know no one's going to be in the house, and I can record because it's nice and quiet. I was using that recording time just to play because I had the internet connection all myself. Because if I left it till night time when everyone was using the internet, it was becoming very unplayable for me. But, I struggled through, and, I used to go to the gym every single day, but that turned into once every 3 or 4 days just because I was staying home to try and get some work done while I had the internet to myself. So that wasn't healthy. Then hits Season 4 and 1.14, and I'm sure any of you who have ever played on 1.14 is very familiar with the lag on that. It was absolutely unplayable, guys. It was shocking. And I put out a few episodes, and you will see in those episodes the lag I was getting. And that was when I had no one in the house. So it was pretty bad, guys. And then when everyone was in the house, I couldn't stay connected. I couldn't AFK. I was literally getting disconnected every 5 to 10 minutes. And the only way I could connect back to the server was to switch off the Wi-Fi. If I didn't turn off the Wi-Fi and disconnect the family from the internet, I couldn't get back on, which was dangerous if I got logged out when I was outside. You get logged back on in a multiplayer server and you're going to get killed. So for the first 2 weeks there of 1.14, I am cutting my kids off from the internet every 10 minutes, and they're complaining to the wife, and she's complaining to me. And trust me, guys, problems with the wife are not problems you want to have. And everything just sort of came to a head in that 2 weeks. And then 1.14.1 hit. Things improved a bit. And they also tried to make the server better for me. They put it in a different location, and that did improve things. It was still terrible, though. I was still getting disconnected. And I just, there's some trouble over there. You guys just stay over there. Don't come near me. And the wife, the wife didn't ask me to leave the server. I asked her if she wanted me to leave, and the answer was yes. If we're going to take anything good out of this, though, was the smile on my daughter's face when I told her that I was no longer needing the internet and she could have it all. She went, yay, and threw her hands up in the air. So there are good aspects to this. It is a little bit lonely, though. I do prefer playing on multiplayer servers, but at least I can actually play on this and not worry about being disconnected or getting lag. So we will make do. I'm not ruling out returning to multiplayer servers. If people in Australia will know what I'm talking about when I say I am waiting for the NBN. They're rolling out high-speed internet all across Australia, but Australia is a big place. And I think I am last on the list to get it. I have no idea when it's coming, but when it does, we will be back. But in the time being, we get to have a bit of fun in this world, and I've been having some fun. I think I am in a pillager spawning hotspot, which scared me so much. Like, I was running around with no armor for so long. I was out here building my farms, and we had a big raid of them going up the hill there, and I ran away. I was terrified, and I'm trying to finish my farms, and I keep looking up there, just thinking maybe that's where they're going to keep spawning. And I saw a bit of movement, and I realised it was a cat. Now, I know what cats mean, and I ran over there, and yes, we had a village. So I have been very, very busy, guys. I was kind of, like, I'm still storing stuff in that underground mine shaft, but I'm not going to keep that as a base. I'll just keep that as a mine shaft. I started working over here. You can see a few torches down. So I haven't done much mining. I've got next to no gear. This gear did not come from mining. I've only mined up 5 diamonds. This came from villager trading, which we have down here. Now, you've probably seen my tutorial I put out for my new trading hall. This is not that trading hall. This is the trading hall I invented before that one, and I decided to build it here in survival and test it out. It's a little bit different. We don't have the farmer breeding area up the end. It's just a little horseshoe, and I decided to put 2 side by side so I could get more villagers in. But that wasn't all I was doing. I was trying to turn this into an iron trading hall. So we have our farmers down the end here. I've sealed them off now, but before they were just walking free, and I dug out a massive area and ruined my only diamond pick doing it. But what I did was I gave these guys access to their beds, which means if they have access to their workstation and a bed so they can sleep, and they've got villagers to talk to, that means we get iron golems. And I had iron golems everywhere. And right up the back, I think I've sealed it off now. I had a little hallway here where I hope I took the lava away. Yes, I did. I trapped a zombie in there, and I was having the golems. Well, when they'd spawn here, they'd come over to the villagers and say hi, and then they'd see the zombie and go ha, and run off the end here. It got a little bit annoying though. The first zombie I put in there, I name tagged him, and the golems killed him. I didn't have him far enough away, so I went and got another one. This one had a shovel in his hand, so I thought, oh, he won't despawn. He despawned, I'm pretty sure. Unless a golem managed to hit him as well. I don't know. But I would have persevered with the iron trading hall idea. I was getting a bit of iron out of it, but I kept getting golems spawn in this area. I put carpet down thinking that might stop them, but they were spawning everywhere. So I was trying to kill the golems in here by dropping gravel on their heads, which was working, but I was removing a bit of carpet underneath the golem so I could drop the gravel. And I just gave him the lightest of little taps. And yeah, I got my first death. It was a one-hit wonder. I had full iron armor, but nope. And after that, you know I don't like to die. I got my first death already. I just thought, no more golems. And once I decided I wasn't doing golems anymore, I decided to revamp the whole design and make the new one, which is better because you can trade with the farmers easily. So I've got all these villagers in here, and I'm not actually going to trade with them. I think I've got a mending guy here. I've traded with him, And luck of the sea guy, trying to get a good rod so I can do some AFK fishing. Still haven't got a good rod yet. But yes, I decided to actually abandon this area completely. Even though I've dug the big hole, I will come back here. What I like to do in single player worlds is I don't make one base and stay there because I don't really plan things. What I do is I make multiple little bases all over the place. And I just keep upgrading. And when I get myself settled, I might make a new base with a really good storage system. And then I will turn this area into something else later on. And I used to really like that. If you remember my Xbox World Tour, I had lots of underground areas that were old bases that I turned into laboratories and things like that. But I decided to completely abandon this area. I'll probably end up killing those villagers just because of the pillager raids. They spawn everywhere around this area. We saw them spawning up near spawn before, but they love this spot as well. And I had a suggestion in the comments a while ago that the way to kill the banner guy is to pillar up and drop lava on his head, and that way you don't get the curse of enemy in the village or whatever it's called. That works fine if he has an axe. If he has a crossbow, I don't want to pillar up and just sit there. So what I was doing is I was just killing them, and then getting a bucket, getting some milk, drinking that, and I was fine, and I could go over to my village over there and hang out with the villagers. It's a very cool village, actually. And it's right next to a beautiful river that stretches all the way up to this bit of ocean here, which is how I was able to get the villagers over. I just put them in a boat, rowed it down into the water, and then just brought them around here. So that was nice and simple. But now that I've got all those beds, all those villages and workstations, if I kill a pillager with a banner here, I'm just going to get raided over and over, and I didn't want that. So I have made my way out to the ocean, and I was going out there with boats, but just last night I put some nether portals in, so let's go over there. And I have a pretty crazy nether, by the way. It is as if I am underground, surrounded by canyons or something. It's pretty nasty. So what I did is I moved my portal up to this level, because at this level we are level with a nether fortress, and I figured I can use the nether fortress to find my way around. So I'm sort of under bits here, but at this level I come out at a couple of blaze spawners all the way down there, and I figured this would be a good kind of level to do my hub at. So what do we got there? Blaze. I'm still trying to get a single skull. I haven't got any yet. Probably doesn't help that I don't have looting on my sword, but yeah, should we bother? Oh, there's one good dude there. Let's get him. So we've got a blaze spawner up there. Yep, okay. Yeah, let's leave this for a while. We're gonna, come on, give me a skull, mate. Give me a skull. Just one. We've got one blaze spawner over there, and we've got another one off to the left, which I can't show you because this guy's in the way. No skull. Up there, which that'll probably be the one I use if I can't find myself a double blaze spawner somewhere. I'm going to get myself killed. Let's get the fire resistance ready. I need that because I am currently in the process of making tunnels out to the mesa, because I am building in nothing but cobblestone. I haven't even got silk touch yet. I mean, I could probably get it if I wanted to trade with those villagers and find a silk touch dude, but I've sort of abandoned those guys and I'm just working with my new guys. Have I missed the tunnel? No, here we go. This is off to my new villager trading hall. So yes, I'm currently making a massive tunnel off to the mesa, which I got to a bit where I was making a little one-wide walkway over a big pool of lava, and I thought, nope, we're going to stop and brew up some potions before I finish doing that. But yeah, this leads to my new trading hall, which I'm actually thinking of making this into my first starter base. It's a bit unusual, isn't it? I built the thing in the middle of an ocean so we didn't have to worry about pillager raids, and I decided to build it under the ocean just because I didn't want a big ugly cobblestone box monstrosity sitting up here. But yeah, it took a long time. I've got no sponges and no conduit, so I had to drain this the old-fashioned way. But this is the design that you recognize from my tutorial. And I've got my first, still got a baby there, got to wait for him to grow up. We are just about to start populating this thing. And I think what I want to try to do is basically put 2 of these back to back. So make a really long hallway with another lot of farmers up the other end. And then I'll be able to test in survival how they fare seeing their workstations from a long, long distance. It might be okay or it might suck. I'm not quite sure. But yes, let's have a quick sleep and go back upstairs because I want to talk about what I think I want to do for a starter base. So any good world, guys, needs some lore attached to it. So what is the idea for this world? What kind of theme am I going to be building in? Well, I don't want to be stuck to one theme. I want to build in lots of themes. And I had this idea a while ago for building a nuclear bunker. Have you seen on Netflix the TV series The 100? I quite enjoy that show, and I thought that would be a fun theme for a Minecraft world. If you've seen the show, they had Mount Weather. It was a big nuclear bunker. I think I want to build a nice big red stony base underneath a mountain, and that can be my bomb shelter. And the idea is we've emerged from the shelter and the world is livable again, and everyone's just gone their separate ways and gone out in the world and started repopulating it. And that way I can do any kind of theme I want, really. It's like high-tech people, but they're building low-tech because that's all they have pretty much. So if I want a Japanese family to go off and build New Japan, I can do that. I can do whatever I want. And I'm really looking forward to doing some Italian or Spanish countryside, maybe even some Greek countryside. I think that would be really nice. But what are we going to do right here? Well, I'm thinking an oil rig would be very, very cool to do just above this thing. And I can put my starter base there with one of my iron golem farms up the top. The iron blade kind of looks like a helipad. You know, it could look pretty cool. But yes, I don't want to build it out of cobblestone. I don't even have a design for it, but I don't want to build it out of cobblestone. So that's why I am making a tunnel to the mesa. So we might end the recording here. I need to finish that tunnel, get some better materials, populate this farm a bit, see if I can get a new pick because it is tiring using the stone tools. And we're going to start working on a design for my starter base, an oil rig with a few farms in it. Ooh, and one thing I want to try as well. The farms, the villager farms for crops are so much slower in 1.14 that I kind of want to avoid using them unless I really, really have to. I want to use a nano farm. I need bone meal for that, but I don't have a skelly spawner. So I want to try making my own bone meal with the composters. So we're going to give it a go. I'm going to bone meal the poppies from the iron farm. I'm going to make a nice pumpkin and melon farm and bone meal the overflow from that. And also throw in some cactuses, and well, cacti. I always say cactuses, don't pull me up on that. And we'll see what kind of bone meal I get out of that. It probably won't be enough. But we'll also check around the caves underneath this ocean, see if there's a skelly spawner nearby, but I doubt it. So yes, guys, I will be back. I'm going to make a trip out to the mesa, do some mining, get some better materials, and we'll see if we can't start building my starter base. Silly me, guys, I just looked at the time. I have been prattling on for too long, and if I spend any more time on this episode, you are all going to fall asleep, so we might end it here, and that gives me a chance to get out to the mesa, get some materials, and actually think up a design for this oil rig. But have a look at this, guys. Look what I just noticed. Look at all that kelp. That kelp has bone meal written all over it. If I can make a slime farm and make some flying machines and more jobs, that's the good thing about multiplayer servers. There's always someone else to do a lot of the grindy work. But I've got to do it all myself here. Maybe I need to get myself a beacon and we make a slime farm. I don't know. I do feel like having a place to rest my hat, though. I still feel like a tourist in this world, but I think once I get a little starter base going, That will make me feel more at home. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Cortezerino. I hope you are looking forward to the new series. I will see you next time.